Hey everyone, I'm Cecil Laird.
I'm Fuego here.
And this is your horror show news
with booze
once again.
Less boozier for me this week.
Holy Christmas. Yeah. Yeah, we're toning it back just a scotch.
Why do you think I'm back to light beer? Come on, guys.
Anyway, we're here to talk about this week's top horror news stories and, of course, to give our opinions on them, whether you want them or not.
Yes.
So, Fuego,
giving them to you there.
What do we got first today?
Dude, I'm hoping this is one that you have maybe heard rumblings about already, because many fans have mixed feelings, because we were thinking we were going to get a third Guillermo del Toro Hellboy movie.
Not but months ago, we were thinking we might.
Yeah, he was hitting Twitter, he was getting I guess fervency, he did a poll, all this other stuff, but the problem was that he wanted $200 million to make that movie.
That's asking a lot.
Yeah, and yet the Golden Army was so badass, I was all for that.
I was too.
But the studios weren't.
Not so much, because when he asks for $200 million, that means the studio's going to have to pay at least that in marketing fees as well.
Yes, double it up. Always figure those figures, man.
And they're like, well, can we really bank that a third Hellboy movie with an aging Hellboy is going to make over $400 million?
Yeah, I still love that dude.
It would have, but it wouldn't have made probably much more than that.
No, especially globally. And so, what does Mike? Is it Mignola? Is that his name?
Mignola.
Mike Mignola. Yeah. What does he decide to do? Well, we just heard this past week that the Hollywood Reporter has found out that they are rebooting Hellboy as opposed to making a sequel. They are having a new Hellboy. They have a new director coming on board, and I'm actually intrigued by this, but not sold on this, because I'm
on board with the new director,
Neil Marshall.
I'm not on board with the Hellboy they got.
Yeah, so the Hellboy that they have,
I think
he's got kind of the build a little bit.
He's got the surliness.
We should say who
Hellboy
it is,
needs.
right?
Yes.
You saw him on Stranger Things recently. People loved him, Mr. James Harbour.
David Harbour.
James, I'm thinking of my birth name. Anyway, David Harbour, and he has that cool kind of burliness and whatnot, and yeah, he just forgot to take it off, but it's all good, Zio. So David Harbour, I mean, maybe the build, the personality though, and the quips and the
here's
kind
the
of
thing.
snarkiness is where I'm not so
actually, quite honestly,
and I haven't read a lot of Hellboy, so I can't really.
He could be, a new Ron Perlman. I could see him have. Quite frankly, when you describe him like that, he seems like he would fit, honestly. But I wouldn't have made him my first choice. But then again, maybe I would have been leaning more towards action-y.
Which they're not doing with this, though. They are going full R-rated, horror, gory.
Oh, really?
Yes,
okay.
Yeah, that is what both Marshall and Mignola
makes sense with
said.
Marshall in charge.
Yeah, exactly. So they're thinking they're going to go more so probably low budget and just graphic and grisly and all that different stuff. So completely different approach to the bombast and spectacle of someone like Guillermo del Toro, who's done like Pacific Rim and stuff like that. So I'm intrigued personally, but I can't say I'm sold on it. Lots of friends of mine who love Hellboy have had similar feelings where they're just like, oh, I wanted Guillermo to do the next one and finish his trilogy because he had a script and all this other stuff. But crying over spilt milk, there's nothing you can really do, right? So you have to just kind of roll with it. But
I'll give it a chance.
Yeah.
I'll give it a chance. I have the first 10 Hellboy trades and the first 12 BPRD trades and Lobster Johnson and the Abe Sapien couple of series. So I'm a fan of the comics, although I haven't read them in the past few years.
Yeah, there was almost an Abe Sapien spin-off movie that they just
which would have been great because honestly it would have given Doug Jones a spotlight for once because damn, the dude is so good.
Yeah.
And so good in fact that they didn't even bother bringing back Niles as the voice in Hellboy 2. They just let Doug do the voice. Exactly. Yeah. So you'll be seeing enough of Doug coming up in the new Star Trek reboot.
Didn't the Family Guy dude voice one of the characters in that second Hellboy movie?
Seth MacFarlane?
Yeah,
possibly.
Seth MacFarlane, yeah.
Possibly. I don't know for sure.
Yeah, Lou, a friend of the show, was telling me about that. But
all
anyway.
I know is that the second Hellboy movie had Tom Cruise light as the bad guy. He was so exactly like Tom Cruise, it was ridiculous. But anyway, the second story I was going to jump in on, but I frankly think Fuego would want to take this one.
Yeah, well, I mean, we can tag team it, dude. We have been both. That has some
up top
extensive connotations. Yeah, baby.
Yes, the idea is that we just got a brand new look at the 3 core, maybe leading, maybe puppets.
Perhaps, but they're saying there's going to be at least 18 different villainous, 18 different villainous puppets in this, and
which we're talking about a new Puppet Master movie,
a reboot of the Full Moon series. But it's not so much a reboot; it's just like with Star Wars and so many other series. It's going to be a rebequel because it technically, it's technically set 30 years after the original killings, 30 years before that Toulon had some sort of presumed ties with and stuff, and so it's going to take place at a toy convention or like a Comic-Con type thing.
That's smart.
Yeah, very smart on their part. And
comics have been doing that for a while. Comics have taken both kind of big characters and independent books. Independent books go wild at Comic-Cons because they end up killing people all over the place.
Yeah.
And then we've had people such as Wonder Woman, or no, not Wonder Woman, Power Girl had an entire issue where she visited a Comic-Con and was fawned over by geek boys and stuff like that. So
I'm curious if they've ever done a Deadpool kills everyone at Comic-Con.
I'm sure
Punisher kills everyone at Comic-Con type thing.
Deadpool for sure.
Yeah,
I know Deadpool's been to Comic-Con. I don't know exactly when.
Really quick Deadpool note, since it's not horror-esque, there is going to be a Deadpool R-rated animated series that Donald Glover is developing.
Yes,
I didn't make it an actual story,
but it is R-rated.
You guys
so
can look forward to that.
Exactly.
It's bloody. There's some horror in the bloody R-rated.
But yeah, we got a glimpse at these new puppets while they were being displayed at Texas Frightmare, the convention not too long ago, which are some friends of ours, or at least via social media, Bloodbath and Beyond. Those boys were down there, so hopefully Canadians? They had a good time.
We love you, Canucks.
But yeah, this is going to be pretty good. Hopefully, I mean, as far as how the puppets looked, what did you think? I thought Blade. They made him look much more Nazi-ish, giving him a angry grimace, and Tunneler. I feel like
a slight little smile, and they also had weirder, longer appendages and like skinnier fingers and longer hands and stuff. I'm just really confused by the weird frog-looking fucker.
The frog clown, clown frog. I don't know, but even Tunneler. It looks like Tunneler. All they did was make his face more angular. Otherwise. But what's interesting actually about the puppets
more crackhead type
is that they were designed by Tate from Face Off, who is actually the person. If I ever want, I've been saying since I wrote the script for Bracer, if I ever wanted someone to actually design it. Is that the first time you've
mentioned the name because you've held it in secrecy?
I might have. It might be. But anyway, I see just enough booze.
I know.
But I have always said if I wanted someone to design the suit that would be needed, I would want Tate from Face Off to do it because he always leaned more horror when he was on the show. So it makes perfect sense that he's the one designing the new puppets. Yes. So shout out to Tate because that is awesome stuff, and I'm excited, and I do plan to hopefully enlist his help, possibly sooner rather than later, because there might be some interesting partnerships upon the horizon. We'll see.
We can't tell you yet. Nope. We're still in discussions.
Indeed.
Yeah,
let's move on.
The only detail I have to mention is that they said this script that S. Craig Zahler wrote, the guy behind Bone Tomahawk, is supposed to... Yes, he's the one who penned this script. He's a lifelong Puppet Master fan. And
I think we'll get an upside-down puppet wishboning?
That could be cool. But the thing that I wanted to mention is that I hated so many of the sequels because they recycled footage from the original Puppet Master films. The first, 4 or 5, if I'm not mistaken. I even think they made a great Puppet Master movie since 2 or a good one since 5. And I know previous instances we talked about this. However, they started to employ CGI and just bad stuff. They're saying this is going to be complete practical. The only stuff that they're going to do
practical or stop motion? Practical.
Well, unfortunately, it's going to be complete practical. They said the only computer generated stuff is going to be to remove the wires. It's all going to be wired marionette puppets, just going old school for the series. It makes me happy.
That's awesome.
Hopefully, The Littlest Reich doesn't suck with these people behind it.
But it's such a bummer that it's set in Nazi time again.
No, it's not. It's set in modern times, but for whatever reason, they just have the stupid title.
That's horrible.
Only thing that me and him don't like about all the cooks in the kitchen for this is the title. Title sucks.
Yes. Absolutely.
Agreed on that.
Next up is the fact that we now get to see our very own comedic First Lady at this point, because everyone loves her.
You turned me on to, dude.
Indeed. I've been a fan of this lady, Melissa McCarthy, for quite a while. Obviously since Bridesmaids, like most people, because that's where she really stormed on the scene. Cousin, I believe, to Jenny McCarthy.
Nope. Wow, really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow. Playboy Playmate of the Year? Damn. Singled out? Oh, boy.
Exactly.
Basketball?
Basketball.
Yes.
Most off. I got all the chrome off this one. You want me to start on this one?
Maybe we can lay some carpet. Dude, if you guys haven't seen Basketball, not horror, but damn, is it great.
It's excellent. But no, what we found out is that...
Yes, we got to it.
Every time. Melissa McCarthy is going to star in an R-rated horror comedy by the title of The Happy Time Murders. Now, is she going to be the murderer? Is she going to be someone that maybe gets wind of the murders and is trying to convince other people? I think
it's actually the latter, because of the fact that I forgot to write one specific detail. The reason I put it right next to Puppet Master is because this is a project developed by Brian Henson for years, and it's about
Brian Henson?
Brian Henson. Jim Henson, Brian Henson.
His
son, and
I
it's
didn't
about
realize.
puppets, and because I forgot to put it on the notes. I'm sorry, man. Like a dumbass here. Yes, thank you, News with Booze. But this is a project that Brian Henson has been wanting to do for years, and it's apparently going to be about puppets and humans living together.
Really?
Violent, R-rated horror comedy. I immediately think of maybe a higher budget Meet the Feebles, which I adored, which was done by...
I still haven't seen that one.
Which was done by Peter Jackson. I don't know why I said Robert Jackson.
Robert Jackson.
Yeah, Robert Jackson, exactly.
Peter's lesser-known brother.
His alter ego and brother who collaborated on the script. Now, this was in between Bad Taste and Dead Alive that Peter Jackson did a movie called Meet the Feebles, and it was basically R-rated, drugged out, violent, and sexualized as Ferg Muppets. And so I don't think this is necessarily going to be that, but she is going to be interacting in an LA subworld with villainous puppets, killing, comedy, horror, and R-rated.
Awesome.
This sounds badass, and I think she could totally pull it off, man.
Absolutely, and hopefully we'll be in a position to possibly interview her about it at some point. So, next up, I'm going to jump in on the next one, too, because you got the first two, and this is the fact that Jordan Peele has signed a 2-film deal with Universal to make more social thrillers in the vein of Get Out.
Yeah,
because
first takes, or like first take, whatever that means. I don't know if that takes like precedence in their marketing campaigns.
It does. No, it means they get first look at anything that he creates.
Yeah, first take. First look is what I mentioned.
Exactly.
So I meant to say.
No, you mentioned first take. No,
I know. God damn it.
No, that means they'll get first look at anything new that Jordan Peele writes that falls under that social thriller category. Because hey, they're like, hey. Respectfully, Mr. Peele, I know we called you Jordan first time round.
Yes.
We're calling you Mr. Peele now. Mr. Peele, we're going to pay you a boatload of money. Here's like probably $4 or $5 million. And we want first look, an option to be first in the door with your next 2 social thrillers that you write.
Yeah.
What do you say to that? And I'm not saying he got $4 to $5 million. I'm just saying, based on that, honestly, it might be more in the vein.
Remember,
it might be more. Yeah, well, the budget versus gross. What was it?
Budget of Get Out was like around 5. It was like 5
gross?
or 7. The gross was hundreds. It
Hundreds
exceeded
of
$100 domestically.
Yeah,
it did even more internationally, which is crazy. So that's why
basically,
Universal's
I'm willing to bet 4 to 5 is on the low end.
Mm-hmm.
I'm willing to bet it's probably closer to the $10-20 million range that they paid him just to get first dibs.
Triple, quadruple the budget.
So they could even have paid that and be like, no, that one's not as good. We're good on that one. And then the next one rolls around. No, that one's not as good. We're not good on that one. Mm-hmm. But hey, now we'll pay you another $10 million to give us a look at the next 2.
Yeah, this
this is how this works. Talked about. But I guarantee that with the talent that is Jordan Peele, I don't think that they'll need any looks beyond the first 2. I think they're essentially paying to be able to be the first to pay for his next ideas. Like, it's really crazy, but that's what it breaks down to.
We have you on an exclusivity lockdown to potentially release your film. That's
I love that. Man. They're the first to pay to be the first to pay.
Yeah.
It's really crazy.
As movie studios should.
Get Out was easily in my top 5.
I'd say
so far
my top 3 so
probably
far.
Top 3. I mean,
although we're going to see a
I'm
movie
leaving
tonight.
a couple of slots open for what we're seeing.
No, there's still a lot of stuff left to check out.
There's still a lot to check out. So I'm going to say probably by the end of the year it'll be in my top 5. But because I wasn't as in love with it as everyone else, but I did like it a whole hell of a lot. But yeah, I think that's a smart deal by
very
Universal.
Enthusiastic the night we saw it, but as time has gone by, we're just like, it was really good.
Yeah. I mean, it hasn't waned in its brilliance. It's still as brilliant as it ever was. But
once I heard about the fact that they were going to have a darker ending,
I didn't hear that.
I kind of would have preferred a darker ending. Yeah, it was not going to be his buddy
the ending was very
up.
satisfying to me, though. I felt very satisfied, so I get that.
Yeah.
The darker ending would have been like typical horror movie, but that it didn't go that way, I think was more.
It was a fist pumper ending, like get him, motherfucker.
And we never get that, so I dug that. So
lately.
Keep your ears out for news about Universal being the first to pick up Jordan Peele's next 2 projects.
Yes, because we are so excited to see them. So another one is about another guy who has delved with both comedic and horror, and this was a news story that buddy of ours, Luis, pointed out to me. He's like, dude, did you see that Bruce Campbell gave some clarification about whether Evil Dead 2 is a remake or a actual sequel? And I was like, no, I didn't
actually read the article. I tried to, but I got added out of it by the by the time I was doing it between calls at my work, and by the time I actually got to the article, I got another call because there were so many ads I was clicking out of.
It was from a legit video interview that he did recently, and so it was kind of funny. I guess it was sort of preliminary for the new season of Ash vs. Evil Dead, which is coming this fall. But he said, okay, Evil Dead, it's its own thing. It stands alone. However, we couldn't get the rights to our own movie by the time we made the Evil Dead 2. And so when you have that initial part, which is almost like a, I don't know, wrapping up and giving you like an up-to-speed bit about what happened in the previous movie, they had to recast everybody and change just a few details because of the fact that they didn't have rights to their own damn movie. And so he even went frame by frame. He was like, okay, you remember at the end of the first Evil Dead where Ash is walking out and then he gets pulled through the trees and all that other stuff? And then you remember about 20 minutes into Evil Dead 2 where, you know, everybody's been killed and he walks out and before all the shenanigans start and he gets pulled into the trees? That is where the real Evil Dead 2 starts, and the rest was just recap. And so I thought that was kind of cool for him to finally give proper clarification that, no, we didn't remake the entire movie. It was like further adventures of Ash, and yeah, I know it's kind of base level news, but it was
it's an important thing to clear up for fans of the genre, and there are a lot of them out there, especially us, considering we did numerous reviews of Season 2 and an episode-by-episode review of Season 1 of Ash vs. Evil Dead.
Yeah, man.
And we even have that bad boy right there, which you can see the lower half of in this particular shot. We got
it's way up there.
There you go.
It's about to chainsaw this damn little xenomorph, baby. Face huggers.
Exactly, which we'll get to. But next up, we have the fact that Judge Dreddy, holy crap.
This just came out today, dude.
Yeah, this is crazy.
This is
Judge Dredd Mega City 1 is coming to television, courtesy of I'm Global and Rebellion Games?
Yep, I Am Global and Rebellion Video Game Studios in the UK. So they were trying so damn hard to make a sequel to the Carl Urban movie, the one which was, dude...
Dredd.
Which was basically way better than I was expecting.
It was the Raid Redemption in the Judge Dredd universe.
It was very low budget, but damn were the effects and the performances great, and he didn't even take his helmet off the entire time like in the Stallone movie.
But God, they did that slow-mo stuff, and Lena Headey was awesome as the big bad.
I'm so sad I didn't see it in 3D because so many friends have told me that the 3D is some of the best they have ever seen.
Really? Oh, it's such a bummer.
Yeah, with like where the peeps take the drug, and the weird
slow-mo
slow-mo type stuff goes down.
God, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, so the horror aspect of this is that they're not going to just focus on Judge Dredd. They're going to focus on his team of other judges and then also the dark judges. And so we're finally...
Is Judge Death going to show up finally?
Who knows? But they're saying that we are finally going to see some of the dark judges.
We've never seen Judge Death. How have we seen 2 iterations in film of Judge Dredd and never once have we seen Judge Death?
Because we saw the weird mutant wasteland guys and the one with Rob Schneider. Rob Schneider is
Shout out to the Nostalgia Critic, by the way, because he did a review of Judge Dredd and it's absolutely hilarious.
I actually really have an affinity for that movie. I'm sorry.
I do too. No, I love it, but that review's really good too.
No, I'm sure it is.
I got when Stallone is all glassy blue eyes and he's like, I judged him. Talking about his brother. Like, I really like that scene.
Yeah, and I also like, what is the red-haired chick who is, oh goodness, why can't I think of her name?
Oh, I can think of her in-character name.
Yeah, I know. I cannot seem to...
her actual name, I don't know.
Yes, it's killing me.
It was Judge Hershey in the movie.
Indeed it was, yeah. Well, Sorry, guys.
Moving right along.
What else can we say?
So next up is you, or well, you tell me which of the next two you want to do, and I'll take the other.
Well, I mean, we can just hit this last one because of the fact that we have, well, second to last one. He's like,
yeah, let's go through these quick because we got to nail this in the next couple.
Yes,
minutes.
and that's because we are heading to a screening that we are going to mention to you guys right at the end of the news. So the MTV Movie Awards, I know I gave it a little stinker thumbs down because I think MTV has changed so much.
Oh no, but I'm talking about the trailers we got.
I know trailers we got. Were great.
They actually put out a bunch of really cool trailers, not just horror.
Oh yeah, there was the Spider-Man Homecoming. I know there was a new Wonder Woman, and yeah, the one that we reviewed specifically as a big, ginormous group, which was
really
kind of fun.
It was
awesome,
the
it wasn't even so much a trailer for Stephen King's It that's coming out in
It
September.
was additional footage.
Yeah.
It was a scene.
It was additional footage, and yet we had so many people saying it's not a remake. It's despite the fact that this gentleman said like
a
two or three
yeah.
different times, and yet it's like it makes me wonder how many people actually pay attention to everything we say in the trailers, or just put it on as background noise and then comment.
You know what? Either way, I don't care.
Yeah, give us those views. We're monetized now. Yeah.
By the way, our first day of monetization, we made 96 cents. The second day of monetization, by comparison with the It trailer, we made $7.
Wow, big living, guys. We're gonna quit our regular jobs.
Actually, the second trailer of Stephen King's It netted us our highest single day of subscriber
24
growth.
hours. Yeah.
We got 109 people in that one day.
Well, dude, we're actually so close to 10,000. I was hoping that we would hit it after Comic-Con, but we may hit it before
we're gonna
Mad
hit it before
Monster.
Mad Monster, and we gotta push.
Very encouraging.
We gotta hit it before Mad Monster for sure.
Yes, we do. So, MTV Movie Awards, we had a new It Clippy trailer, but then there was also a new Stephen King bit for The Mist,
which we are about to do a reaction to, but by the time you guys see this, it will definitely be up. I'll put it up tomorrow, Thursday.
Yeah, and I've seen a few photos, but I haven't cheated and watched the trailer yet, but everybody is saying that it's gorier.
Watching the photos is cheating, you son of a biscuit.
Hey, I was just looking at her photos while I had a lady friend. You know, I didn't talk to her.
You still cheated on me by looking at the pictures.
I committed it in my heart. Oh my god. Yeah, but I'm going to my Christian upbringing there, guys. No, but I took a few peeks, and they're saying it's more grisly, and actually showing what him and I wanted in the first trailer, which was either monster action or people getting messed up, you know, and action, you know, something graphic and grisly according to the Stephen King source material. So look forward to that. But the thing that we're going to end the news on proper is what Cecil is going to tell you about, because we already have a filming date for Alien Covenant sequel.
Yes, and of course Fuego's alluding to the fact that we are, as of tonight, as we record this on May 10th, we are going to see a sneak peek of Alien Covenant, which is super exciting because both of us, just last night, rewatched Prometheus. That you can stay tuned for a review of as well, because I hated it the first time, and I loved it the second time.
I'm so glad, because I really liked that movie the first time
I kept telling the person I was watching with that I was like, I love it so much more this time. Like, it's so crazy how much more I like it. It makes a huge difference when you kind of know not to expect actual aliens in it. But we will get to that. But yes, go ahead, Fuego. When is it? When is the new one already set to film?
So they're saying that Ridley Scott wants to get a film schedule set in a mere 14 months. So we're talking May currently. He wants to start filming in July of 2018. So
reviews are good so far.
Yes, they've actually been very good, saying that this is the shot in the arm that the series needed, especially if there's going to be another sequel coming afterwards. I'm excited. The cast, much like with Prometheus, is great, and so also rewatching Prometheus, I remember how much I really enjoyed it. I can't say I loved it like I did the first two Alien movies, but if you compare it to the AVP stuff or Alien 3 or 4, I think it's
interesting. I wonder.
Probably number 3.
I might have to say Aliens.
Alien.
Ooh, that's tempting. I don't know.
Really? Prometheus is damn good.
It might have shot up there, honestly. I enjoyed it so much more this time that
makes me so happy, man, because I really liked it.
It's in a runner against Alien with me. Because I think Alien's boring. I think Alien's really boring. It's got really good parts, but it's a really boring overall movie to me, and I know I'm going to get lynched. I know we'll get a dislike just for... Oh, well, no, we'll get a number of dislikes just for that statement alone.
We will get a few, although I
really liked Prometheus this time. It just said so much more than almost any of the Aliens movies has before.
I actually agree with you there, because it had so much subtext about the human race, religion,
God,
our identity as a species.
I don't know what happened, but I just appreciated it so much more, because I wasn't... When we saw Prometheus and we knew it was a prequel to Alien, I was expecting Alien, and I got nothing like it.
And that was what they originally advertised it as.
But it's so clearly different, and yet in the same world. As a person that has since I'm such a huge fan of crossovers and different alternate dimensions and alternate worlds.
It's in the same world. It just doesn't focus on xenomorphs.
Yeah, you know? It's so cool. And honestly, the neomorph is way closer. Yeah, it's way closer to humanoid than I remembered it being.
It was the weird birthing era where she rips it out and then it goes and hits the engineer, and then it's like a huge, almost like a huge, it's like a massive face hugger, and then it hits the bigger engineer dude, and then the thing that comes out of him, it's almost like a weird.
It's so cool. It rips his whole chest open.
Yeah, because it's
stem to stern.
Yeah, because it's not birthed small; it's birthed huge.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It was birthed like the dog in Alien 3.
Oh, and I mean, even the snakes that were going in, I know we're going to the...
Yeah, okay, we'll get to that.
Yeah, Prometheus review.
Anyway, let's call it there. That's going to be it for this week's Horror Show News with Booze. Thank you guys very much for watching. Comment down below on which story you're the most excited about. What are you thinking is going to happen in Alien Covenant? Stay tuned. Well, actually, stay tuned. Go back and watch our Alien Covenant review, because it's going to go up tonight. Yeah, which will be yesterday when you guys see this.
We're filming it right afterwards.
Exactly. So thanks very much for watching. But while you're down there commenting, click the link in the description box to our TeePublic site where you can get access to our horror show design, our Coexist design, and then a design featuring Horrific Harry, our show mascot.
Yes.
Thank you guys very much. If you do so, you will be supporting the channel. But until tomorrow's first episode, I've been Cecil Laird.
Gracias, Jaime, for now.
And actually, that's not the case. It'll be until tonight's next episode.
There you go.
This always goes up around noonish.
Yes, cheers.
Remember, stay scared.
Excellent.
Excellent.